I know what you want. I know what you want.
I mean, that was different, but it worked.
Yeah, let's have a listen. So Misgivings is we formed in 2013 when Ollie, who plays lead guitar and sings in the band, he messaged me saying, do you want to form a band that sounds like the Lawrence Arms? And we proceeded to form a band that sounds like the Lawrence Arms. We don't sound like the Lawrence Arms. We got a bassist and a drummer to join, neither of whom are in the band anymore. We did our first release. We recorded it at the Ranch in Southampton with Neil Kennedy, and we did a 2-song demo which had Gift to Nobody and Disappear Here on it. We released that, and then we did an EP which was recorded with John Moon from Somnolence, which was called Delete History, which is a woeful title. Just regret that a lot. That had songs like Century on it, which we re-recorded in this session. And then we did our first album with Tim Greaves from You Mean the Atom Bomb at South Sea Sound. At South Sea Sound we had a great time recording Hermitage, and then Joe, our longtime bassist, left after the making of that, and we got Mr. Martin Spooner, a long-time friend of mine, to play bass for us. He'd previously driven us around on a short weekender of the UK where we played our first night in Brighton. Did we play in Brighton? I think we played in Brighton. Yeah. Must be Brighton. And then we did a gig in Basingstoke, so 2 Bs, and then we played a gig we did a night in Plymouth. And then the next day we went to Penzance, so we had 2 Bs, 2 Ps, Plymouth, Penzance, Brighton and Basingstoke. And he drove us around on that tour, and probably about a year later, somehow we ended up joining the band. That was in the wrong place.
Sound is, if you know what I mean.
Doesn't normally have that many EQ options in it.
No, I've got 3 on mine.
But the
I have a play, so anyone which says I'll put it back in. Put it flat. Anyone which says pull, you can pull the pots out and you can hyper extend the EQ. Oh, cool.
Oh, so it does the two.
Yeah, 2 on the high. Yeah. And then in that bridgy part, maybe try the high F.
Yeah.
Yeah. That gives it a real Green Day vibe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So high F in the bridge,
Low for the
low
big outro.
low for the outro.
Alright, here we go. You can all run it.
Yeah. Much better.
Well done, that man.
Good lad.
So it's 2015, is it?
Cool.
That weekender, that notorious weekender.
Yeah, it must have been about then, 2015. It was August bank holiday. I remember that.
It was, yeah. Which this is an August bank holiday.
It is, yeah. So yeah, 5 years ago this weekend, I suppose.
Bit of a bittersweet anniversary there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we all know. Well, let's not go into that tour. But yeah, you drove us around for our.
Yeah, drove me and the four of you guys in the band at the time around in my Vauxhall Insignia, and for some reason the drummer decided he was going to bring an acoustic guitar along. So whoever got the front seat was lucky because the boot of the car was filled with merch, drum breakables, guitar heads, and the guitars. And then, yeah, the back seat was pretty cramped, especially with an acoustic guitar across the laps. I was pretty happy in the cockpit. I was pretty happy being the driver, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was interesting. That was definitely an insight into the world of Misgivings. Why I agreed? Well, because I love the band. That's why I love the band. I love Will. I've known Will for a long time. So, yeah.
That's pretty. How did you start playing bass? What made you go to bass?
What made me go to bass? So I originally played drums when I was in school. I used to have drum lessons, and after about probably, I don't know, a year or so of that, I had a drum kit and everything at home. After about a year of that, I realised that I couldn't play drums. I wasn't very good. My feet and my arms don't do the same things at the same time in the right ways they should do. So I sold my drum kit, and then my mum was like, "That's it, you're not having any other instruments." And then my brother used to play of Pancake Eating Freaks fame.
Name drop.
Tom Spooner of Pancake Eating Freaks. He used to play guitar, or he still does play guitar. And I was like, oh, quite fancy playing guitar. So I bought myself a cheap, crappy Argos acoustic for like 14 or 15 quid or whatever it was. Decided I couldn't play guitar either because my hands don't move in the way they need to for that. So I just like made the strings as loose as I possibly could. They weren't in tune or anything, and I just started learning bass songs on that.
Nice.
And then I heard of someone who was selling a bass setup for like 150 quid, so I bought that and yeah, started my own band.
And what was that band called?
That band was called No Problem. That was me and my good friend Connor Villa, and we had a couple of drummers. Mostly it was our friend Jamie Saxton, and we were. That was when I was in my true punk phase of my tartan trousers and Doc Martens and things. So, yeah.
You're still bringing it. You're still bringing the.
Yes,
tartan
I'm rocking more of the dad punk look now. So punk rock dad, Jim Lindberg, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's getting dangerously close to the point where you have a choice between developing a healthy interest in jazz or rockabilly.
Yeah, I think I'll just stick with a straight up like Southern California punk. That'll do me. But yeah.
So, tell me about the recording session.
So this was actually only my second studio recording session. I previously recorded at the Ranch in Southampton with my other band, Makefast. So yeah, this was my first time recording with Tim. So I think I came down and watched Rob for a little bit doing his drums, and then the next day we did my bass tracking. I played on my bass and stuff, and I was quite happy with it. Didn't mess up too bad, I don't think. And then yeah, I just decided that recording really boring, and it just doesn't interest me. But I don't mind playing my bit. I enjoy that bit. But yeah, other than that, yeah.
It is a bit boring when you're not.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I mean, yeah. Bass.
You've got to be into the ins and like Rob's very into all the technical side of stuff.
Some massive pull on my trousers. Just feel this pleasant breeze down by my crotch. Fucking look at that. No, the rhythm of the. I don't know whether maybe the bass drum maybe the bass drum could accent or follow the rhythm a bit. It's just if you can play that in the room, I don't know if I'll be able to hear you through the. But if you play that in the control room, I'll try and look into that.
Yeah. So we've just had a magical Rob appearing. Rob appeared just like he did in this very room, actually, to be fair, I think was where Rob joined the band. It was probably that room over there.
Yeah, it's the control room, but
control room, yeah.
Building.
In the building, he was here. Yeah, so he joined the band. He quickly made his imprint on us by. Well, he did because remember I was saying earlier that you did sound for us at a gig at I think it was at South Sea Social Club. And I can't remember what you said, that there was a specific thing. Well, yeah, firstly, you got me using guitar pedals. So that was one thing that you made me do. I wasn't using guitar pedals before. I was plugging straight into amps. Normally any amp that I could find.
Did I do that to you as a sound engineer or as a member of the band?
I think it was as a member of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you were going when you were doing sound for Misgivings. You weren't going, Will, go to street level. Fucking go and
spend your wages.
Clean
on
Barry out.
boxes.
Clean Barry from street level out of all of his pedals, and put them in front of you, and then that will make your generic pop punk rock more interesting than it would be without the pedals. That's what. I mean, actually, I think that was what you said. I remember it distinctly. No.
No, it can't be that because I would have said fuck, shit, and cunt a few times.
As a sound engineer, that
Yeah.
sounds very plausible. So yeah, what happened? So 2016, we probably started learning some songs. I think the first songs that we learnt probably learnt Elsewhere first.
Yeah, you hit me with the hard one immediately.
Yeah, what happened? We learnt the first couple of songs. It was probably Elsewhere, and I think we probably learnt like Put Words.
Put Words was definitely one of the early ones because
which was great fun. And then I can't remember what was the first gig we played with.
I instinctively want to say The Edge of the Wedge because we are basically the resident band there.
Yeah. So that's the story of Rob joining Misgivings. And yeah, any thoughts on like the tracking of the drums from this recent album that we've just done?
It was easier than the last album, in large part because I wasn't moving house while I was doing it.
Yeah.
That did make everything that little bit easier.
Anything like about the recent recording that you remember? Well, you've already been over the fact that it was really hot.
Oh god, yeah, no, that was punishing. But no, it was good. It was nice to take some time making everything sound right first, and then going into tracking. Because every other time that I've recorded drums in a studio where I wasn't the engineer, I'd end up kind of being presented with a drum kit and then immediately having to crack out 5 or 6 songs without really thinking about it. So it was nice to also sit down and have like kind of your input in my headphones every now and again, just like can you do less of that? Can you do less of that? Don't hit that.
Never more of that.
Yeah, no, it was always less of that. It was less. I remember less. Which is fine because if you left me to my own devices, everything would be blast beats.
That's true.
Eventually.
Everything becomes blast beats eventually.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And it's the same deal like with people that like modify cars, is that eventually everything gets an LS. Everything gets a blast beat. It's just the logical end game of that.
Cool. Have you got tell us about your snare.
My snare is one that I can't remember. I don't remember buying that.
I reckon you bought it off somebody in the music scene because we've been name dropping people in this whole thing. So we've got
yeah, no, it was Dan England's, but I can't remember if I bought it off him or he just kind of gave it to me. I'm not sure how that happened, but I come into possession of it, and it's lovely. I love it. It's a pork pie 14 by 8, and I'm guessing it's probably maple. I don't know. Either way, if you twat it with a stick, it goes pang, and everybody likes that. So
Bit of crack to it, isn't it?
yeah, well, that's I think that's mostly the strainer. So something that I've been doing for years is that I'll take off the original 20 stand strainer. Did I say that 3 times fast?
20 stand strainer.
20 strand strainer.
20 strand strainer. Okay.
And swap it over for something that's at least 40, because I am a heavy hitter, so I can get away with doing that.
How is everyone tonight? Having a good time? These guys are having a good time.
Sauce for no sauce, thanks to you.